There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this podcast.
This is a That's Entertainment podcast.
Awesome. Just tell people they're awesome and mean it.
Awesome.
Did you have an awesome time? Did you drink awesome shooters and listen to awesome music and then just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness?
Awesome. That was awesome.
You guys are awesome.
No, you're awesome.
No, you are awesome.
Sir, you are awesome. Seriously.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Welcome to this week's edition of Everything is Awesome. I am your host, Kev, and this is the show where we sit down and talk to awesome people about awesome things. And boy, oh boy, it's been a hot minute or so since we last dropped an episode, which is, I believe, we kind of announced our end of run here, and things just kind of got busy. Things, despite there being a global pandemic, things have not slowed down for me all that much during this. I'm still working, thank God. I'm not complaining, and we still are all very healthy. So again, not complaining, but life has just been crazy. So happy September, almost October, here as we sit here and record this. A little life update. We are in the middle of virtual learning with the kids, which is fun. Though much better, I feel, than last year, I think. It does feel, and I obviously had some time to prepare and whatnot, but, after the first week, be feeling very hectic, the days that I was home helping the kids. Now that we're moved into about a month of this, it actually feels pretty smooth. So I feel good about that. Our office for my day gig moved from what was like the middle of nowhere in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, to the heart of Doylestown, PA. And boy, I gotta say, I'm loving it. It is kind of like the best parts of like being in like Center City or Old City, Philadelphia. And then I get to drive home to the suburbs, lower Bucks County. So it's kind of like it really kind of scratches that itch I have of city life, where I get to leave the office and walk down to a burger joint or a sandwich shop, or go to the comic book store that's here in Doylestown, Cyborg One. Shout out to you guys. And obviously things are a lot different because of, us still being in COVID-19 pandemic stages here. So it's usually call ahead, curbside pickup. I go, I get it, I bring it back to the office, and I eat. But it's nice to kind of like get out and walk for a little bit. And that's what I'm doing here at my lunch, my late lunch that I take. And I've actually found a way to connect everything up to the car so that I can, not have to worry about battery power or anything like that. It's actually really, really great, the setup that I got going on. It's you know what? I found this awesome setup on our final countdown of shows here, so that's awesome. Anyway, so that's the life update. Show update. I forget how many we have bagged. I think I said that we are going to be getting to at least like 180 something with the show. Truthfully, I am going to try my best to get us to episode 200. But we're going to go through the backlog first, though I have something special going on tonight for a recording that we're going to release next week. we're also going to try to release our backlog 2 to 3 times a week. And giving Patreon early access to all that stuff by anywhere from 24 hours to 7 days in advance, if not more. Now, the early access stuff will be raw audio that is got the most basic of production put to it, meaning that I've given it a quick listen to make sure there's no audio drift issues and have mixed that together and sent it out to our Patreon backers. So we'll be doing that over the next few days here. As we do any of the episodes that don't have a live intro, I'll be doing an intro, giving you life updates and whatnot, and let you know what's going on. Otherwise, if I did do a live intro, I'll check in with y'all during the mid roll and the outro. What we're gonna be doing with this week is, because this is going back a year and a half. This is going back to March of 2019. We went to Delco, and we recorded a live recording of Mission Accomplished Holiday Hack, which is actually, this is like really good timing to be dropping this episode, because I can also say that in about a month or so, I forget the exact date, but in November, I'll be dropping a approved by Mission Control dossier onto my itch.io. That's thatnerdykev.itch.io. That could be used with as another mission for the base game that is out and available to the world from Jeff Stormer. jeffstormer.itch.io. I believe you can pick it up at, as well as some other places. But Mission Accomplished has been, I believe the Kickstarter is officially done, save for some international shipping and whatnot. But it is such a fun game, and back in March, I put together a holiday version of a mission dossier. So while this actually has nothing to do with the approved by Mission Control content that I'm dropping in November, this is actually going to be a tease for some more approved by Mission Control content that I'm going to be developing over the next few months here. I have to sit down to officially decide the route that I'm going, but I'm going to be releasing 12 to 13 missions that are holiday themed. I'm thinking about pulling in someone as like a co-writer for this, and it's going to be it's going to obviously be able to be played on its own, but you're going to have the Mission Control, or I'm sorry, the Mission Accomplished rule sets. But the stay tuned for that news. Probably within the next 6 months, I would say, is when I'm going to have at least another update for that. But as a little teaser, I wanted to do for the Pro Wrestling Game Jam 2K20. I wanted to do 2 games. One of them was released. You can see it as part of that game jam or on my itch.io. And that was this year's game that I did submit was Heel Turn, which is a hack of Lasers and Feelings. But I also wanted to put together a mission dossier that was wrestling based. And I just didn't have time. Like, by the time I was wrapping up with it, that's when really Pennsylvania shut down and things got really crazy here with everything. So I didn't get a chance to drop it, and which has actually turned out to be a good thing, because I was able to spend the duration of the pandemic up until about 3 weeks ago, early September, putting the finishing touches on it and getting it edited. I'm edited by a good friend, Mike DeAngelo. I'm actually there's another round of editing that I'm going to submit it for. I got to find the person's information, so I'm not going to let you know who did it now, but it will be in the credits of that, and I'll let you know when closer to when this game officially drops, all the other details. We're also going to get some art done for it. I'm really excited about that. And it's a wrestling-themed mission dossier that combines my love of old-school wrestling and time travel. That's all I'm going to put out there. I think it's a really fun dossier that's hopefully going to lead to some more content for Mission Accomplished in that time travel kind of space after I do my holiday hack one. And that's what you're listening to today. We went to Delco. We went to, y'all know Benjamin Wallace from the Pod of Love show. He hosted us there for an event where it was Pod of Love was the main event, I believe, if I remember correctly. Followed by preceded by Everything is Awesome doing a live recording of Mission Accomplished Holiday Hack. And it was me running the game. It was my first time running any tabletop adventure. So that was really nerve-wracking on its own. And it was me running Jeff's game, but with a new dossier and some hacks that I made to it, which was, to put the extra pressure on me. Jeff was part of the show. He was a player in the game, as was my dear friend, my best friend in the world, Mike DeAngelo. And we also brought in Heart Points, Zach and Diana themselves, as players for the game. And it was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun with it. Without further ado, we're not going to have a mid-roll on this episode, so I'll catch you on real quick on the back end with some just quick stuff. And without further ado, here is Everything is Awesome presents Mission Accomplished Holiday Hack right here on awesomepodcast.com. All right, so for the audience out there, we're going to be playing some Mission Accomplished Holiday Hack today. This game, this is the first time I've ever ran a game, so it's pretty intimidating, especially since the designer of the game, Jeff Stormer, is here.
Ah, it's me. I like how you were looking for yourself.
Well, he refers to himself in the third person, so.
I do. But I still didn't expect him to look for himself. Where is that guy?
Could have been missing.
Listen, I could have become Jeff Stormer. We never
That's true.
know.
You never know.
We never know.
Jeff Stormer is more of a title like Bond.
It is. It is.
If that's your legacy, good on you.
The real Jeff Stormer is the friends we made along the way.
Real quick, let's introduce everyone at the table. As always, when it comes to my live events, Mr. Mike DeAngelo.
Hey, howdy. You didn't introduce yourself. That's the best part.
They know. Plugs, dude. Let's get that out of the way since you might have to leave early.
So you can find me at Tellust or on Facebook at facebook.com/TellustBooks.
Tellus, by the way, because he doesn't know how to plug. He's
No,
a
not at
terrible
all. Not at
marketer
all.
for himself. Is a fantasy world series that he's created. He's got 95 books published and is also the creator of Quantum Quest, a dungeon crawling
There we
card
go.
game. Very fun, very fun. Next to him is Mr. Jeff Stormer.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Stormer. I am a podcaster, game designer, and the official LARP right of the Olive Garden restaurant. For the purposes of this podcast, I designed a game called Mission Accomplished. It went to Kickstarter in October of 2018. It funded the day that I got laid off of my corporate job, which was perfect. And it is about, traditionally, it is about super spies and office meetings. The premise is, in short, you are secret agents who have just saved the world, and now you have to sit down with management to hash out what went right, what went wrong, and who is getting burned and who is getting that sweet corner office promotion with the floor-to-ceiling windows and the company credit card.
But not at Holiday Hack, we don't have the kind of money for a new corner office. You get a nice holiday bonus, though.
A nice holiday bonus is great.
And next to Mr. Jeff Stormer is, I'm going to introduce you guys together, and then you can take it from there. The duo of the Heart Points podcast, Zach and Diana.
Hi, I'm Zachary Woodard.
And I'm Diana.
And we do a podcast called Heart Points. It is a one-to-one RPG actual play podcast where we play lots of different games.
We do. We've been playing Dungeon World recently, but hopefully I die and that ends. So we'll see.
We also do a podcast called The Farrier's Bellows, which is a story games review podcast, sort of. And you can find us at Heart Points Pod and at Farrier's Bellows.
I love the new podcast, by the way.
It's real good. It's real good.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
It's everything I love about podcasting and in this current era of me listening, which is tabletop games and just people talking. Perfect mashup.
I'm glad. That means a lot.
And I guess I should introduce myself. I am the host of Everything is Awesome, Kevin Gallagher. That's pretty much all I do. And let's get started. So we are playing Mission Accomplished, the role-playing game designed by Jeff Stormer. We are doing a little holiday themed here. For the most part, the game is largely the same. There is one or two differences, like the 7 habits of highly effective holiday ops agents. And this is the small division of the hero department called, I probably should have that in front of me, called, where is it? The Convoy of Holiday Explorers, Engineers, and Researchers, better known as the Cheer Division.
Solid. One of the core tenets of Mission Accomplished is a good acronym, so I feel like you got it.
Well, I hope you like this new one, because there is a criminal organization known as Grinches, the group of radical, international, and nefarious cupids, hairy elves, and saints that have emerged from the mythical shadows. They seemingly...
Extremely good.
They have infinite resources, an endless amount of demonic magic, and a hunger for chaos, for destruction, and for ruining the holiday spirit. You are our agents that are going to help save the day. You are going to save St. Patrick's Day. However, the mission went well, but during the course of the mission, certain ethical dilemmas and conflicts of interest, compliance violations, holiday shopping on company time, leaving price tags on those gifts, and ugly sweater violations were reported. This is where Holiday Central and our post-mission holiday protocol party comes into play. By carefully reviewing each operation through the use of written post-mission reports, as well as team-wide holiday parties where we, as a team, have a debriefing session, we can identify these instances and determine the proper response. One of you will get a nice holiday bonus.
I do love holiday bonus.
Depending on how this review goes. So before we get to the Nog and cookies, bad news. It is out of season for Nog, and we don't have it in the budget to import it.
That is a lie.
You could have got like tons of Shamrock shakes.
Eggnog is a year-round treat for the whole family.
I firmly believe this, but if you ask Walmart or Wawa, they'll say no.
Well, yeah, if you're
you
going...
have plenty of time to make your own.
If you're listening to the macro noggers, sure, but the whole nogging movement is enforcing the rule that it is a year-round treat. Talking Nog... I'm sure there's a website for it, but I don't remember it.
It is at Talking Nog.
It is at Talking Nogcast on Twitter.
A yearly tradition for a yearly tradition
honoring a yearly tradition.
But we were able to supply some cookies, and I believe somebody else supplied coffee or something. That's somewhere around here.
Yes.
Before we officially get started and introduce our agents, you have index cards in front of you. You have writing utensils in front of you. We have some safety devices here for the game. We have the X card on the table for the purpose of the podcast. We can just say, let's exit. The X card is used when, if there's something that comes up in gameplay that you're uncomfortable with, no questions asked, just say, let's exit. We'll move on. We'll rewrite the story to move on from there. Other things that you may just want to gloss over, you don't mind if they come up, are lines and veils. So if you guys have anything that you want to, just kind of gloss over, avoid, or whatever, ahead of time, just write it down on an index card and then pass it to me secretly, and we will. I'll just keep that in mind for the center of the table, so everyone knows. If you don't have anything, feel free to just say nothing, unless you want to write it down. But whatever. While we're waiting for that, why am I? There we go. Test. Done with that one. And are you guys ready to do agent creation?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
It is largely the same as Mission Accomplished. So let's get to know our agents. Let's start with you, Mike. We need a name.
Oh, no.
We need, and you guys can, I'll say this out loud so that everyone can do it at the same time, but we need a name. We need a specialty, the role that you served on the mission, a fun fact, something that helped us get to know you as an employee, team contribution, what you did to accomplish the primary objective of the mission, which is to protect the gold from Ireland. We'll get more into the mission in a second. And of course, because this is a holiday hack, I need to know your holiday movie or tradition, your favorite one.
I feel like I need to pass and kind of like look at other people.
Well, you guys go ahead and start writing down your names and whatnot. I'm going to fix this sound. That's awful.
We're saving St. Patty's Day?
Yes.
All right.
I'm good, thank you, though.
All right. I think the noise went away. How's that sound out there? Did that humming go away? All right. Good. Mike.
I'm coming into this blind, just so everyone knows. I'm going to be...
You are not prepared for saving the mission. So while you guys are coming up with your names and whatnot, I will go over the mission. We're saving St. Patty's Day. Grinch's operatives have captured Greeny Old Knuckles and are attempting to force Greeny to give up the location of Ireland's gold reserve. If Grinches get their hands on even a fraction of the pot of gold, Ireland's economy will be thrown into chaos, causing an inflation of potato-based products, decent beer, and Lucky Charms. St. Patrick's Day itself would cease to exist. Primary objective? Protect the gold. Now,
so this is a question that I shouldn't have to ask. But for the listeners at home who might not remember this game as well as me, who designed it.
Fair enough.
Game, fun fact, contribution to the mission, specialty, and holiday tradition.
Yes.
Okay. I knew that. I wanted everyone else to make sure that they remember.
Yes.
I wrote this.
Yes, thank you. And that's why I'm glad you're here to help pick up the slack as I fumble things around. If anyone's done, we can begin. That's a no. We also have, instead of the normal dice that the hero department uses, we have celebration dice, we have humbug dice, and until we come up with a better term, we have the non-believer dice. The non-believer dice will hopefully not get used. It depends on our agents here and how chaotic they get, and unruly, and how much they don't believe in holiday magic.
I'm glad that I have someone to share that with.
I remember as a player at episode 100 of Everything is Awesome, feeling the same way, and that's why I'm glad I'm not playing. But I also am incredibly nervous about running the game, so it's like a lose-lose for me.
True story. I've never been an agent in this game.
Yes, I know, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, hey, you know what? I'll run it since you've never been an agent.
Oh, man, you've never played it?
I've never played
That's awesome.
This is the first time I will ever be on the other side of this table.
That is cool. Diana, you should just be going Honey Heist.
So I have my character.
Just take
Honey Heist. Go ahead. So let's introduce ourselves to our first character.
Right. My name is Damien Claus. I am an intern in the Santa program, hence Claus. It was a favor to my father. I believe you know who my father is. My favorite holiday tradition is the witching hour, in which we dance naked in the blood of the goat demon prince. I am also an amateur craft brewer. I make a delicious sour. It's brewed with cherries. It's very, very nice. And I drove the getaway sleigh in our assignment.
All right, well, Mr. Damien Claus, the fact that you helped get away, you get a celebration dice.
Yay! This warms my cold, black, dead heart.
I can't wait to see Mike's character. This is my favorite part, is watching Mike scramble in improv.
So bad at
Well, I think do we have other people that are ready?
You want to go?
Let's
hear you.
Yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm doing it.
Okay.
So, I'm Neve O'Sheehan. I am a hacker. Fun fact about me, I make mead in my bathtub.
Why in your bathtub?
Because I don't need my bathtub.
Why not?
I have multiple bathtubs. Don't go weird.
All right.
I have multiple bathtubs, and one of them is for mead.
I thought we were going with a weird stereotype against Irish people.
Mead is a wonderful drink to make for amateurs.
Listen, fool, smackdown, mead forever. This is Neve, just so you know.
This is also Damien, because meat is delicious.
I helped open some electronic safes because I am a hacker and was able to do that. And then fun tradition that I do is I watch Love Actually every day, all day, for the week leading up to the holiday.
It's wonderful.
Every day, all day?
Every day, all day.
Like
It's
just
on a
on a
loop.
loop.
It's on a continuous
Christmas
loop.
Story style?
Yeah.
So much.
Continuous loop for a week.
Boy.
7 days straight.
I feel like that's not the character. That's the player.
A little bleed. It's okay.
And I respect that. Have a celebration dice.
Oh, I caught it!
Nice.
Yo!
Oh, no.
All right.
I am a very original name, Joseph Joestar. And I am the muscle of Cheer. And my contribution to this latest mission was that I took on 2 score Grinch's operatives single-handedly in hand-to-hand combat and won. And my favorite holiday tradition is watching The Crow on Halloween.
You thought it was Santa coming down your chimney, but it was me, Dio!
I was really hoping that it was going to be The Crow for Christmas. But the fact that you took on 2 Grinch operatives, that's a celebration dice right there.
2 score. 2 score Grinch operatives.
2 score.
Which, if I know math, which I don't, I think might be 40? Is that correct? Is a score 20?
Don't look at me. I don't know.
We'll say it's 40.
We're getting a nod. We're getting a nod from the audience.
All right,
We
cool.
got it. We got it. We
there we
nailed
go.
it.
All right, and our final operative.
Howdy, everyone. I'm Old Mac. I played lookout, and I made sure that Greenie's lackeys didn't show up and ruin the operation. Fun fact about me, I want to retire and own a farm. And during Thanksgiving, I eat with all the neighborhood cats.
I don't know if that's sweet or sad.
That's not like street lingo for cool people. It's I hang out with all the barn cats.
I don't know why.
Well,
It's
okay.
so funny.
I'm a little conflicted.
Like that feels a little bit like it's the start of a horror movie.
A little bit.
Right?
Or like a really sweet redemption story.
Just watching them all slink out of the shadows is so...
Come to your table.
Well,
Eat my turkey.
Old Mac, I got to say, way to be a lookout. Way to look out for your team. That's great. However, there was a bit of a problem when we had a pre-meeting phone call and you fucked with Holiday Central. That's a humbug dice for you.
Oh, no.
You don't mess with Holiday Central. That's a big no-no. I am your superior. If you guys can write your names down on the next card and make it like a 10 card or something, just so that I can reference it and not read my chicken scratch. While you guys are doing that, we are going to each pick a thing about the mission. Jeff.
I did it wrong. I gotta redo it.
Where is my page? So if I go too low, that's the issue.
What up?
So, So, Mike, I'm going to start with you. I want you to state one complication that went wrong in this mission of saving the pot of gold.
I don't want to have to admit it or anything, but I was distracted when a stray cat went by.
Distracted by a cat. Well, Old Mac, that's not looking out for your team, so I'm going to have to issue another humbug dice.
That's a humbug dice right there. That's classic humbug.
It is what it is.
So there was a distraction by a cat, Old Mac was. Okay.
I have so many questions about your relationships to cats. Do you have like
so
a
much
pheromone?
it's so
Unlike
much better
the
if
people
they're
on
not
this team,
answered.
they don't judge me.
There's no judgment. There are just questions.
All right, Damien Claus. One complication or other.
Let's see. Complication is somebody tipped. So I think it was that our paperwork for our passports was not filled out correctly. Like we were actually given work visas, so we have all had to get minimum wage jobs for the last since we accomplished the assignment. And like honestly, I'm not really sure any of us are really made for service work.
Okay, I'm sure that puts a damper on things there. But you know what? You got a minimum wage job to take care of the team. Good on you.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Joseph Joestar. One complication.
One complication. The interns accidentally let out a bloodthirsty leprechaun. and it's kind of been wreaking havoc on the city. And we haven't quite found it yet.
Okay. Well, thank you for being honest. That is a celebration dice. Who's our intern?
Just the interns.
Just the interns?
Dave. Dave let it out.
Dave,
and,
okay.
Yes, Dave. No other intern. Dave is the intern.
Dave's the one who let it out, and I just hate him so much.
Frankly, he's really he doesn't seem to really believe in the career, in the job. I'm not seeing a future for him in the internship program.
Damien, as one of the lead interns, right?
I prefer senior intern.
Senior
yes.
intern.
Oh, Damien's an intern. Oh, no.
Not taking responsibility.
I am taking full responsibility. I own the fact that I did not manage Dave correctly. But honestly, also the screening process for Dave seemed a little bit lax. So I don't know who was in charge of hiring, but it seemed like...
So now I hear backpedaling, so that's a humbug dice as well.
Oh, no.
All right, last complication from... Okay, pronounce that name?
It's Neve. I spelled
Neve.
it the Irish way, but I'm not even sure I did that right. So
I'm pretty sure
I don't know
you
if
did.
that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
I appreciate...
Lots of letters you don't pronounce. That's how
Thank
you
you
say
for trying.
Irish
That's
names.
a celebration dice. Neve, what was one complication?
So we had a feast during this mission with potatoes, but unfortunately they were counterfeit potatoes. And someone was in charge of discovering that, but didn't do it.
Who?
I don't know. I don't think.
See the
No, I don't
accusation.
know.
I see the eyes. Let's see. Not on lookout. Was that?
I mean, I could have been looking out for
I'm
potatoes.
looking out for counterfeit
You know
potatoes.
what? You get a humbug die for not looking out, but you owned up to it. That's a celebration die. I'm just willy-nilly with these dice today.
I have so many of the dice.
I like it.
Very much.
All right. Now, before we get into our official debriefing mission, we do need to have some anonymous reports that you want to make on behalf of your team. So you are going to, with your first index card here, look to the person to your left or right, and write down one thing that agent positively contributed to the success of the mission. And while they're doing that, they'll eventually also write down one negative thing. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't need to see your name. I know you're old Mac.
All right.
I know you're old Mac. They'll also have to write down something negative. And then a change that we made for the holiday hack is that we're going to have a third index card that is going to be a holiday miracle or disaster that gets turned into me, and it gets randomly put to the side and played later in the game.
So one index card for something that went well, one index card for something that went poorly, and
Right.
that's alternating the
Right.
people, and then a third index card for...
And it doesn't have to be about the agents. That doesn't have to be. That could just be something, some sort of holiday miracle or disaster.
Okay.
That we may or may not call upon later in the game.
All right.
Yeah, and you can choose which of the two agents to your left or right has the problem, and the other agent will do something positive.
Can it be on the same index card, or does it need to be on separate index cards?
Separate would be easier.
Separate index cards.
Yeah. We have. I think the issue is I'm too close to the speaker.
Is it me? It might be me.
Oh, it might have been you.
I might be too close. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
That's just fire right there. Okay. Do you have one of them done?
I do.
Once you're done, please face down, pass them to the left. These are anonymous reports. Okay. Got to look at everything here. And as part of the annual, well, not annual, every mission, we have a nog and cookie break while Holiday Central goes over the reports. Unfortunately, eggnog was not in the budget this year. So, I believe there are some random drinks somewhere that was supplied by somebody outside of Holiday, out of Cheer. So we thank them, and they are somewhere that I'm going to let the audience point that out because I wasn't paying attention. They're behind well, I say audience. They're agents of Cheer as well. They're not on what's the word? Trial. That's the word. Yes, they are the judge and jury. Do.
It was two things, right?
Well, and then the third thing is a holiday miracle.
Do you like that one?
These are good. What I have so far is very good. Or disaster. It doesn't have. I mean, something bad could have really went wrong that doesn't implicate anybody. Which one is this? Is this the...
This is the good.
The good, okay. Okay. And then just a miracle or disaster. And if you can note whether it is a miracle or disaster at the top of the card.
Do you want me to put that on mine?
Oh, did you already turn that in?
Oh, no, that miracle, sorry.
Wait,
that's a disaster.
This is a disaster? Okay.
Disaster. Holidays.
Holidays are for everybody, including your work family, which here at Cheer, we're a work family. I always forget that this part of the game is real awkward for podcasting.
Yeah, this is a development note that there's just a chunk of this game that gets edited out every time you play it because there's no real easy it's core to the experience of the game. Mm-hmm. The game doesn't work if you don't have this section, but it just kind of makes for awkward radio. And it's fun enough at the table because you're coming up with silly things and laughing about them, but it's hard to convey that to the audience.
Yeah. But just know we're thinking of you.
Can you make a commercial up to go with the?
We could. I mean, we could play some jams. I have one jam preloaded.
Let me tell you about a little podcast called Talking Nog. Talking Nog is a yearly tradition honoring the yearly tradition. It's about the past, present, and future of everyone's favorite eggy, creamy, meaty, spicy, boozy Yuletide treat.
I'm sorry, did you say meaty?
Yeah, meaty. It's got that meaty egg texture.
Okay, all right, I'll let that pass.
I don't know a better way to describe it.
I think that's fair.
Yolky doesn't sound right. No, that doesn't sound right.
Wait.
One of my favorite meats is not poultry, but egg.
Wait. Question. What do you call the yellow part of an egg?
Yolk.
Yes, thank you. I've been being made fun of for weeks for saying yolk.
I say yolk.
Yeah, I say yolk.
With no L, because you don't say talk or walk.
You say milk?
Yeah. Thank you.
That's celebration dice.
Accurate.
Folk. I say folk.
I say folk.
Yeah.
Folk. See, I say folk.
Except if I'm saying
folklore.
So you're halfway in between each.
Folk. I'll say folklore. I'll say the L there, but I will say folk.
This is terrible radio. How are we doing?
All right.
Sorry, guys.
We are so. Agents, please talk amongst yourselves. Enjoy the holiday party. Holiday Central may or may not be listening. Just keep that in mind. There are cookies laid out. And I believe Agent Ben will can bring drinks up if you need drinks.
Oh.
I'm volunteering you, Agent Ben.
Yeah. Bring me coffee.
What? We are in a church.
What?
We are in a church. So I would like...
That...
Can I...
Oh my gosh.
Is it red wine? It should be red wine, right?
Can I have just a little bit of red wine? It's Jesus.
Ben,
wine.
that's a celebration dice.
Well, now that dice is on the floor, this has become stressful. And I need to go home.
The cleaning.
I'm not going to stop thinking about that dice on the floor.
I'm going to break open the snickerdoodles.
Thank you. Thank you. You've done us all a service.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Oh my gosh.
This is madness.
All right. Listen, this is madness. This is cookie time. Pass me one.
What do you want? Snickerdoodle? We have Snickerdoodle, sugar cookie, or frosted.
You know I want that Snickerdoodle. Am I the only one getting wine? That's weird.
What?
Yeah, I'd actually like a wine as well.
I'll take a wine. I'm back to drinking, baby.
I think I'm good, but I appreciate the offer.
Fitting.
It feels fitting. I'm in a church.
It's
It
the
feels
least fitting.
Thank you. Ooh, this is a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Oh my
Getting
god.
toasty at church.
This Snickerdoodle is lovely.
So I'm so excited to eat it.
It's so soft.
Give me a Snickerdoodle.
Will you help
What
me?
part of
Will you help
Jesus
me drink
was the
this wine that I
Snickerdoodle?
erroneously asked for?
No.
So much.
You drink that wine.
I will drink the wine. I'm in church. It feels fitting. It really does.
Neve gets way too sloppy at the holiday parties. Neve just
Neve
cannot
is a
handle
proper
her.
Irish girl. Listen, I lived in Ireland for 4 months.
That
Neve is
doesn't
a-
make you Irish.
I didn't say it does make me Irish, but I did live with a Neve, and she does get sloppy at holiday parties.
Sorry, Neve.
She's a respectable person now. Yeah, it's
well-
good enough. Close enough. It's actually, I like it. That does not mean very much. I don't have much of a taste, apparently, but it's really good. I like it. Thank you for bringing it.
Yeah, the mission went real south real fast.
Listen,
I'm interested to find out if they were all disasters or if there were some miracles.
I did, but I think I was joking. No, oh man, I'm okay. He didn't. All right, well then
Wait,
I'm drinking
did I
coffee
take
then.
Take your
I'm
coffee.
drinking coffee. I'm
Take
gonna,
the
yeah,
cup.
yeah, I'll drink it.
did I take the only cup with my request for wine?
Kev's also got
I
a cup.
feel
Now I feel bad.
Zach, do not make a scene right now.
I'm sorry.
And just take
Joseph,
Okay, I'll take a coffee.
this is becoming an issue.
I know. Okay.
Last time I played this game, I was an HR manager, and I feel like I'm trying to slip back into that role. I need to realize that Neve is her own person, and she does not do HR. That's HR's job. Be a mess. HR will deal with it.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. I had a sip of wine.
She had a little bit of wine in her, and
I
that's...
had one sip of wine, and I'm gone.
All right. Holiday Central has had time to go over these notes, and thank God
Oh, no.
Agent Ben brought some wine, because it's all over the place. Oh, that's some wine right there. More of a beer guy normally. Okay. Woo. All right, so, agents, I hope you're enjoying the cookies.
Sacrilegious.
I hope you're enjoying the
My
wine,
heroes
the
are bringing me coffee.
Don't think of this as a last meal by any means. That's not what we're here about.
Oh, God.
This is purely evaluations and about a holiday bonus.
Is this a Last Supper?
Also, milk and sugar, please, or cream and sugar, like 2 sugars. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So,
I don't mean to criticize Mission Control's decision making. Obviously,
hey,
it was
Mission
sound.
Control is part of the hero department. This is Cheer.
Fair.
This is Holiday Central.
I don't mean to criticize Holiday Central scheduling, but scheduling this during the office holiday party seemed perhaps. I'm hoping that we're able to swiftly resolve this issue and get outside because they're going to be making the drawings very, very soon.
Yeah, it feels kind of weird. It feels kind of like we're being punished that we're not allowed to have the party part, that we're being taken away
in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why this is not happening in a conference room.
Guys, you're really making me stretch for this great night. This is anarchy. This is a yearly, annual, monthly tradition. There's holidays every month. This is part of the norm. I understand this is the first time, big time mission that you guys have been on. This is how we do things. I'll let it slide one time only for the questioning of when we conduct these. As Agent Ben knows, this is when our missions are done.
Fair. Well, we appreciate you overlooking our stepping out of line Holiday Central.
I apologize. I recently transferred from Mission Control, so I'm just trying to get used to how it's done here.
Damien, thank you for the apology. Joseph, don't be a brown nose.
No one likes to suck up.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I have a timeline here that does not make any sense because it's just all over the place. A lot of cats are involved.
Oh no!
I would imagine.
But let's start out with the first thing that must have happened, and that was paperwork for the passports not being filled out properly. We've already discussed how Damien was the first to jump on the minimum wage job to make sure it happened and on the work visa, but who was supposed to get the passports filed? Whose job was that?
Well, an important part of obviously this is not pointing fingers, but an important part of the overview process is to make sure that documents are looked over and that there's a second eyes looking out to make sure that all of our duties are handled. It's easy to be a lookout on the field, but it's a little bit more challenging to be a lookout when, with the administrative parts of the job. Which, according to the job descriptions, which I did update, you're all welcome, it's covered in the job descriptions.
So, Old Mac, what do you have to say about the passports? I know we don't have a formal HR here at Cheer. That's usually left up to the hero department. But sometimes we have to do things on our own because they're too busy not looking out for their little brother here. What happened with the passports?
So, to be fair, I had the passports all figured out. I just had the wrong country. So I think there was a little bit more work that had to go into making sure that would have happened right. I had to scrounge last minute to get everything to the point where we could work minimum wage jobs.
Old Mac, I told you 3 times that Wales and Ireland are different countries. 3 times.
I thought it was all part of the UK.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Lookout, Mr. Old Mac, that's a humbug dice.
Oh, drat.
Because you need to know where this is mission critical information is knowing that you're going to Ireland to save St. Patrick's Day. Where else does St. Patrick's Day happen? Yes, I know everywhere celebrates it, but it was birthed where?
I was on the drunk bus when this was all going on, so.
You know what? It's okay to have a good time every now and then. That's part of the drinking policy.
We believe in fun along the way.
I mean, that's why we do drink. Unlike those chumps at Hero that don't allow drinking at these missions, debriefings.
I want to let everyone know my goal is to get a 1-to-1 ratio on these dice. I don't care how many, just
as long as it's even.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys eventually got to Ireland. You had to get minimum wage jobs. How did you have time, Old Mac, to manage 14 different cat Twitter accounts? No, that's not all. There's more. You posted photos exposing the location mid-operation.
Well, that wasn't me. That was one of the cat accounts.
That you run.
I had an intern doing all that for me.
Okay.
We used Hootsuite.
Do you know which intern? Or did you who was the intern?
I don't want to point fingers.
Damien, were you in charge of this particular cat's account?
I was handed this task, but when I tried to log in, all of the passwords had been changed. I don't know who was in charge of managing all of our cybersecurity efforts, but they certainly did not communicate back out with the rest of the team.
This was not a cyber department issue. This was a Dave issue. If you will recall, we gave Dave access to the cat Twitter accounts. This was a team decision that we had all made at the last meeting. You may have been a little drunk.
Okay.
It vaguely.
It was a little Dave. It was not a little me.
Lots to unpack there.
Yes.
Lots to unpack there.
It was Dave.
So
Wait,
hold on.
Who's Dave?
Dave is the intern.
intern.
Don't you remember Dave, the other
intern?
I don't.
Frankly, I forget he's existed as well. He's not. Here's the thing about the internship program. It's an opportunity. It is unpaid, but it is an opportunity for you, the interns, for us, the interns, to really seize and find a place in the company. And it feels like Dave is just really here for the college credit, which is shocking because we also don't give college credit.
He said that he was doing it for exposure.
That feels right. We do pay in it. The program does pay in exposure.
Yeah.
Well, Damien, thanks for the backup there. That's a celebration dice.
Yeah.
But it's still, we don't have a proper IT department. Again, this is not the hero. This is Cheer. We are a very small team, as you can see. Yes. No one out there knows a computer. Just look at them. So I have to. Unfortunately, our hacker. I think you were in charge of those passwords there.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Disappointed in Dave.
But the location. Why 14? That's a humbug dice. 14 accounts. My old Mac. Why? It circles back to why. It also circles back to you admitting to being distracted by a cat during this mission.
That's true. I was distracted by a cat. But to be fair, I thought that it was a double agent cat. I thought that it was one of Greenie's cats, and I was just being a little bit planful and making sure that they weren't trying to distract us. Did I get distracted while I was trying not to be distracted? Yes.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a celebration dice.
That's valid. That's we commend you. I really commend your honesty here.
Double agent cats are a big issue in holiday secret operative management.
We all know that the Green Men have utilized cats before. He was just
We've seen
cautious.
That's a lot of team spirit over there
Yeah.
for backing up your guy Old Mac. That's a celebration dice for everybody.
Yeah.
Yay!
Good job, team.
All right. It's still Old Mac though. You are.
I'm gonna lose an Old Mac.
You know what?
This is just what's gonna happen in this game.
Old Mac and his dang cats.
You know what? This might be positive here. I don't know. This is an honest report. If you want to own up to it, that's great. But Old Mac, you were a great lookout and saved someone's life by pointing out that they were distracted by almost walking off the Blarney Castle. Who almost walked off Blarney Castle?
Was it one of our agents or?
Yes.
That was me.
Okay.
I almost walked off a parapet just because I thought. Help me out. Why did I do this?
Joseph, that's you don't know.
If you don't have a reason for your action,
If I recall, we were FaceTiming. If I recall, we were FaceTiming.
That's right. We were FaceTiming.
Yes.
And I was trying to figure out, triangulate our positions, and I was walking along the parapet, and I almost fell.
Yeah.
FaceTime.
But luckily, the lookout kept me
Neve,
safe.
way to back up Joseph there. That's gonna be fun all day, guys.
I'm excited. I'm gonna catch some.
But I have a question, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
FaceTime. Was this on the company phone?
Yes. It was mission related.
Okay.
Neve and I were FaceTiming for company reasons.
Obviously.
Company reasons.
Obviously.
I'm getting a mixed feeling here.
Corporate reasons.
Corporate reasons.
Mission reasons.
Very corporate.
Very important mission reasons.
What are those reasons? I need to know.
I mean, the two of you both had your do not disturb up for a very long time.
Do not disturb during mission protocol. That's against mission protocol, guys.
Spy need thing?
That's
spy need.
For very serious hacking. For very serious
It was
hacking.
very serious hacking.
Very serious hacking that needed to happen.
What had to be hacked?
Near the Blarney Stone security.
Yes,
Yep.
because we had to protect it. We had
Yes.
to protect the Blarney Stone.
Because the Grinches are coming after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to.
were
there was
posted up
webcams. We were.
and there.
Yep.
We're there.
Yep.
Make a note of this. Maybe we'll circle back to it. Grinches, Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
Fun times. I'm gonna put in.
No, there were
there
were no fun times had by us or the face chats. Face times. Wait, face chat? FaceTime.
I had fun.
I
Not related to their fun times, but just wanted to put
As
that
a
out
hacker,
there.
you
Had a
should
great
know
time.
what that iPhone thing is. That's a humbug dice for not knowing what
I don't remember.
simple technology that you need to be in charge of to hack.
Just putting it out there that I personally had a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I've actually gotten a lot of work experience working my minimum wage. I've been doing a lot of service work. It's warming me up to people. I'm just throwing that out there.
We're all about the spreading of holiday cheer
we
here.
are.
Yes.
That's the celebration.
I'd just like to add that part of every job is believing that you can do it. So
that's borderline brown nosing. Oh man, borderline brown nosing. But you know what? I'll take that one. That's celebration dice.
I have to get a humbug dice now.
All right, we have some more things that happened. Damien.
Yes.
Okay, this is good. You managed to operate the sleigh without losing any of the equipment.
This is true.
What point was the equipment in danger of being lost, though?
Well, you see, what had happened was in midair we were locked in a combat, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but someone did a very dramatic diving kick. And as they summoned a spirit behind them that also did a diving kick. And just before they hit it, we all heard Yes's roundabout for a moment. It was very confusing and it was intense, but it definitely knocked the sleigh off balance. I was able to right course, but it was very confusing. Also cool. Worth noting.
And that's noted. That is noted on your permanent file here. I do have a question though. The sleigh holds everybody?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. It is.
Why did we have to pay for first class tickets for you guys to get to Ireland? Well, by way of Wales, because of the earlier mix-up.
Because it's a getaway sleigh. It's not a get-to sleigh.
That's fair. All right. That's a celebration dice. That's how, for agents that are sitting here, agents out there, that's a prepared agent right there that has an answer. Neve, I appreciate you finding the humor in this. That's a celebration time.
I can't stop.
Fun along the way. It's all about fun along the way.
You know what?
Roy, he's my manager. Yeah, he loves to tell you that if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. He says life's a beach,
right there,
which is funny because it sounds like something else, but it's really about drinking on a beach.
Speaking of Neve,
okay, no more wine.
This circles back to the possible fun times.
There were no fun times.
You were using the WhatsApp app to send organizational emails. That's way against protocol. That's not you. As the hacker, you should know that's the number one way for us to get hacked.
Listen, that's true. But as we stated earlier, there have been severe budget cuts, and WhatsApp is free. So
way to save us money, right?
Yeah,
there.
we
That's
needed to
fiscally responsible.
Yes, we had to work around. We used a system. We used code.
Okay.
Everybody had a code.
Okay. I really am uncomfortable with the behavior of Joseph and Neve. Really uncomfortable.
That's because Joseph is suspicious, and I am
not suspicious.
You are suspicious.
I did have a question about the code.
Yes.
I feel like I know that we were using emoji primarily as our communication method.
Yes.
And a lot of it was conveyed to us as to you send the wacky tongues out face if you feel like you're in danger. But it was never fully conveyed to me what the zucchini was, and I felt like I was getting a lot of eggplant.
That was Blarney. That was the Blarney Stone.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes sense.
The eggplant was the Blarney Stone, which is why we were sending so many, because I was posted by the Blarney Stone
that
to
makes
protect
sense.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
that answered my question.
There were so many of those that Neve and I were sending back and forth. It was because of the Blarney Stone mission.
I don't appreciate.
So
eggplant. This is getting noted in permanent file. Eggplant emoji
was code.
It was code for
emoji code.
It was code for
Blarney Stone.
We'll come back. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Neve, also though.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Welcome to Mission Accomplished, baby.
I can't.
We're in church.
I am not the one who said that the eggplant was code for Blarney Stone.
Listen.
Anyway, yes.
Budget cuts have prevented us from going to our normal meeting location at the Chuck E. Cheese down the block, okay? We are here at the church talking about eggplants.
Listen, I do like this church atmosphere.
Yes.
I enjoy it. It's a little bit less festive than the Chuck E. Cheese, but feels a little bit better. I like it.
That's a celebration dice for
thanks.
Appreciating what we can work with.
Yes, yeah, always.
However, you got a malware virus on our AI supercomputer, and now it won't stop swearing at us. This thing has been... I can't repeat the words in this venue is what it's saying to me. What did you do?
Are we certain that it was a malware virus that Neve personally got, or was it something that maybe Greenie and his lackeys sent to us to throw us off?
Thank you.
Either way, it's Neve's responsibility.
Right.
Keep that safe.
I would argue that if it were a Greenie effort, that really somebody should have been looking out for that.
I cannot punch a computer virus. If I could punch a computer virus, I would, and I would do it very well. But I cannot punch nor dropkick computer viruses.
That's Joseph owning up to his great abilities right there. That's a celebration dice.
All things considered, being sweared at, not that big of a deal, right? I mean, we were still able to complete the mission.
Okay.
Also-
that's a humbug dice right
All
there
right.
for back talking.
It was kind of funny when it happened, so I just didn't fix it right away. I can fix it, but it was kind of funny. No?
We
It was
thought that was
funny.
their code and that we
The
were
bleeping
intercepting
Blarney
it.
Stone,
The
it's
things
funny.
it said about my mother, I will never forget.
So then stop talking to it about your mother.
I have to talk to the computer. It's our supercomputer.
But you don't have to talk to it about your mother.
You do bring up your mother a lot.
You talk about your mother constantly.
Do you need?
I feel like I've learned a lot about your mother that I didn't really need to know.
Listen, I'm pretty sure my mother
Thank
was
you.
tragically killed by a vampire, I think. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen the whole
That-
series.
Speaking of this, speaking of,
Curse my inability to
Speaking of,
curse my inability to think of a different name.
Joseph, there's been a report that you killed a Dracula or something. Honestly, it was a little convoluted, but definitely left an impression. So first of all,
striking.
I think this is a celebration day because I think less Dracula in the world is good. So that's,
Thank you.
Way to kill that. But it sounds like you have some mommy issues that you need to work at. We don't here at Cheer, we don't have an official therapy department, but I believe we are in the right venue and maybe even have the proper agent out there that could listen to your issues.
Don't we have that therapist that we brought in for Mother's Day?
No, that was Joseph's mother, and she was killed by a Dracula.
That's a humbug dice for bringing up bad memories for Joseph.
Yeah, yes.
Or something. We're actually not really. We're not sure if they're a Dracula per se. It was there's a lot.
My mother was killed by a golden-haired, beautiful Dracula man, and I had an opportunity. I saw him on the streets of Dublin, and I had to take him out. And thank you for acknowledging. Thank you for backing me up. Mission Command Cheer. That one less Dracula in the world is a good thing. So
Are we sure that wasn't that Romanian fitness model?
it was. I'm like 80% sure it was golden-haired Dracula.
Whoever it was definitely killed Joseph's mother.
But he was walking around in the middle of the day.
He's a bad Dracula man.
But it was the middle of the day. He was looking at a mirror. It was a lot.
He was a fitness model. He was
saying.
definitely looking in the mirror.
Neve,
Yeah.
This is obviously a bad conversation for Joseph here and his mother. That's a humbug dice right there.
You know what?
Yes, please
You know
stop
what? That's
questioning
right.
my need
You're right.
to murder golden-haired, beautiful
Listen,
people.
I will back off. I will back off. You're right.
We here at Cheer condone murder. When it comes to evil mythical creatures, and if there was a mistake, it was because of Joseph's,
His ongoing
tears,
grief.
having to go work through the tears of seeing what may or may not have been a Dracula. So
Right.
we'll
Thank
sweep
you.
it under the rug if it was not.
Thank you. I'm 85% sure it was the Dracula.
It's
that
going
killed my
up,
mother.
so he's
It
more
is going
confident
up,
than he
yeah.
was before.
I don't remember what I. Am I going up? Okay, good.
All right. Wow. Okay. So you need to see somebody about your mommy issues, though. Let's talk about that. But okay, you also found the Book of Kells.
I did.
You did, Joseph.
That's true.
You
I
did. You read it and blinded everybody with the light, giving Grinches an advantage before you even say anything. That's an automatic humbug.
See,
Grinches are terrible people. So please, why did you mess with this book that we know nothing about?
The Book of Kells is a very powerful holy book, and I thought that if any of the encroaching Grinch's agents were Draculas, then by opening the Book of Kells, the blinding light would scour them to ash. Turns out, no, they weren't. They're just bad people. And it did blind us, and they did escape. But it was I still stand that it was a worthwhile experiment to test if Draculas had invaded Grinch ranks. And plus side, we know none of us are vampires. Draculas.
Right. Yeah, you almost went a little too far. That's a celebration. That's good stuff. Book of Kells, have we secured it, though? Did it stay within our possession?
Oh, yes. I held onto it in my very large, beautiful hands.
They are immaculate hands.
Listen, you're starting your brown nose too much there.
Can't just say I appreciate some fine-looking hands.
That's talking back to Holiday Central.
Fine.
Damien,
Do you want to
stop.
keep going?
Stop, Damien.
Just because you're senior intern and we pay you a small, just above minimum wage salary.
Which means with my other job, I'm making like double minimum wage. I'm only working 90 hours a week.
Oh.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Speaking of Damien, you called in a favor with your father, Big S Man, and got a crack team of elves to contribute to the mission. As
Oh no,
Ninja
Santa's
Light
not my
Special
father. He's sort of more of a father figure. My real father is someone different.
Okay, so now we have. Let's take a moment here. Mommy issues and potential daddy issues. Would you like to talk about this?
About the elves?
Yes, and your daddy.
Well, I will tell you the story of my father. He goes by many names, but I don't believe we have the time to get into it.
That's, you know what, respect for our time. There you go. So how did the elves? What happened out there?
No, they're just laughing. They're very cheerful.
Give him a humbug dice.
Humbug dice for talking about the Holiday Central. Okay, so what is the elves? How did they help out here?
We needed some extra firepower because our muscle was a little distracted punching what may or may not have been a Dracula.
Was 60% definitely a Dracula.
We're jumping from 80 to 85 to 60.
You gotta make up your mind here, man.
And so we needed some extra firepower. We needed some extra ballistics. I brought in the artillery.
That's good. That's very good. I can't argue with that. That's a celebration die.
The artillery of elves?
They cannot be messed with.
That's true. That's true.
Have you seen their workshop?
I just want to be clear that I
impressive.
understand what's happening.
Joseph, though, your numbers are changing. They're going up and down. That's a humbug dice. All right. Joseph. No, that's your title card, I think. Okay, no, we have a couple more things to discuss. We have two more things, and then the fun times.
Am I in trouble again?
Probably.
I did so good.
Somebody brought up that the interns let out a bloodthirsty leprechaun. When did this happen? How did this affect the mission? And how is it still running around rampant?
Dave.
It's such a Dave problem.
I feel like we're really all in.
Joseph, I need your opinion on
Me?
this.
Yes. Yes.
I got 3 Dave issues.
So I don't know why you're coming to me when Damien is head intern, but I will say
You made the report.
Oh, yes, that's true. I did put in that report. I put in that report because that leprechaun, I think, might be a vampire, and it might be a Dracula leprechaun, and it is just running rampant through Dublin. And
still,
try as I might, yes, okay. Still, we have not been able to.
Senior intern, as the senior intern, that's a humbug dice because this. I don't know that. Why were we back here when there's still a bloodthirsty vampire?
Now,
to be fair,
right,
I have been working with the head
eye.
intern. We've both been trying to scour Dublin looking for this.
Honestly, we were looking out for the.
Back.
You were looking out for the van. And this is double accountability. We were both looking out for the leprechaun. We should have been looking out for Dave. I feel like we should
really should
needs a second set of eyes on him at all times, or else he's just going to be like right back into Tetris.
I'm going to repurpose one of these dice here. They're not a non-believer dice. This is a believer dice. This counts for all of you as a plus.
Ooh.
Because you all teamed up on Dave.
Yeah, Dave's the worst and should be fired.
He's been wasting a lot of company resources
now you guys are just going too far.
But you need to hear this. He's been using up a lot of company resources. He needs to get his password changed because he forgets it every single day. Neve just can't keep up with him.
I'm just saying, he's taking a lot of work from home days, and I'm pretty sure he's recording podcasts.
And I'm pretty sure he taught that supercomputer some new curse words. Like, I have tried to tame her a little, but there's a few that I think are new.
The hacker, though, or the supercomputer, that is your fault initially.
Yes.
Humbug dice for pointing it out again. Because it still is being very angry towards Joseph's mother, I assume Damien's father, and has been saying very not nice things to me.
But it's still funny. So when it stops being funny...
It's not funny to me.
It's still very funny. You need a sense of humor.
That's talking back to Holiday Central.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Let my anger get the best of me there.
So Bloodthirsty Leprechaun, we're going to have to circle back to that at a later time. And
We'll get to it. We'll deal with it.
All right, the feast, was this a celebratory feast that you were trying to have with the counterfeit potatoes?
Yes, we had finished the mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was our traditional post-mission feast.
absolutely. With lots and lots of different kinds of potato dishes. Mashed potatoes.
How did you guys
potatoes.
discover they were counterfeit, and what happened to this operation?
Really, the first one you bite into and you discover that it's actually cream cheese and cinnamon is
Yeah.
very frustrating.
Yeah, not as
You're
good.
like, oh, this is going to be nice, sort of like starchy, savory dish, and then it's like cream cheese and cinnamon, and it's like, I mean, this is still pretty good, but it's
It made
definitely
for really
weird.
bad mashed potatoes, though. Like when you added
really
everything,
did.
it just
It's
wasn't very
making
good.
Thus, the holiday cookies are still up for grabs. Again, partake in the holiday cookies. I'm not saying it's the last meal, but
You keep saying that,
you do
though.
keep saying that.
it's
The thing you're not saying is brought up a lot.
what I want to know about this counterfeit operation. Is it still going on?
I'm not going to say that we had.
That's a non-committal answer.
Listen, I'm not going to say that the lookout wasn't supposed to be looking out for counterfeit potatoes, but what I will say is that someone on this team was supposed to be looking for counterfeit potatoes.
Someone whose
And
specialty
it's not-
was looking out.
And it's not me.
We sure are
How
saying a lot of
many
things we're not saying.
potatoes there are in Ireland. I have to go through everything.
I can't take back a humbug dice, but I can issue one out to the lookout. That's a humbug dice for not properly looking out for counterfeit potatoes.
Yeah.
We're also going to file that in with the bloodthirsty leprechaun file and deal with that at a later date. But we have to get back to the eggplants real quick and the fun times at Blarney Castle with the Blarney Stone. Was there any kissing going on with the Blarney Stone? And I'm not saying emoji Blarney Stone.
I did not kiss a rock
Well,
because that's how you get vampirism, is you put a rock on your face.
I don't know if that's true, but I want
It is true.
I'll take that celebration dice for that. All right. I need an answer. Where are you guys?
I will admit I did kiss the Blarney Stone. I got
Disgusting.
caught up in the tourism. I was mingling in with the tourists, keeping an eye on, kind of being a little bit like a spy. And I was in the kissing line, and I had to do it. I couldn't see a way out. I had to kiss the Blarney
Part of
Stone.
this job in Sheer is acting like a spy. That's a celebration dice
So
right
there we
there.
go.
Out
Yeah.
of curiosity, was it raining when you kissed the Blarney Stone?
It started to rain as
That
I kissed the
explains
Blarney
the
Stone.
emojis. Eggplant, fountain, lips.
Yep, that does explain that.
All right, that checks out. That's a celebration dice there. All right, I think we have
that
everything
clears
we
it up.
need to conduct this official evaluation. So, this is going to be the fun part of rolling dice, guys. Rolling
Right.
dice. This, again, pretty much...
Please walk me through the dice rolling process.
This is the same concept as Mission Accomplished proper, where you're all going to roll your celebration dice.
Yes. Do you want me to take the lead on
Yeah,
this?
so you can take the lead on this.
So what we're gonna do is you're gonna roll all of your celebration dice. What matters here is not the sum total, but the individual high numbers and how many of those high numbers you get. 2 6s is better than 3 5s. 1 5 is better than 3 4s. So you just want to roll it and make a mental note. These numbers will, total numbers will change. What you roll will shift a little bit as we roll. Once everyone has rolled their celebration dice, we'll move on to the next part. Does that make sense to everybody? Perfect. And then let me know when you've rolled, and then we'll go from there.
I rolled.
Yeah, you suck.
Hey.
All right. So now that you've rolled your celebration dice, you're going to roll your humbug dice. Here's how humbug dice work. They will either completely destroy your chances at success, or they will do literally nothing. You're going to roll your dice. Any dice that are currently on the table that match one of your humbug dice, those dice go away. So if you roll 1 6 and you rolled 7 6s on your celebration dice, and you roll 1 6 on your humbug dice, all of those 6s disappear.
Jeff? Why'd you design this game to destroy me?
Humbug dice
Does it
also
zero out or go negative?
it zeroes out because all the humbug dice will go away after you roll them, and then the number of dice that you have in front of you is all that matters.
And there's the believer dice. So everybody gets to add 2 to their celebration dice.
Woo. Okay. I'll do this.
And then while you guys are figuring all that out, there is one last bit of things that came up last minute in this report of mine. And a holiday miracle occurred All of the shamrocks grew 10 times their size and began to glow bright, not neon green. I don't know what that means for the mission. Maybe good luck for one of you, maybe bad luck for somebody else, but that was the holiday miracle. Does anyone want to explain what happened during that time?
Really learn the meaning of the holiday.
I mean, yeah, but it happened at the exact time that we were blinded by the light from the Book of Kells. It was kind of amazing for those who could see it, which was none of us. Because we read it.
So no one knows what happened is what we were coming down to. But that's good. I'm glad that someone got luck.
Yeah.
All right, so do we have some final rolls here?
So what matters now is with the dice that are remaining in front of you, all your humbug dice have gone away. Any dice that match your humbug dice have gone away. So the remaining dice in front of you, the high dice, how many of that high dice, and how many dice you have total. So for instance, I have 1 5 out of 4 dice, and if you have no dice in front of you, that number is 0.
Jeff, are we counting that additional 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have 2 6s.
Yeah. So
Your
5
2 got
dice.
wiped out, right?
What's up?
Did your 2s get wiped out?
I didn't have 2s. I had 5. I had
Yeah,
5s.
but you added a 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
you
I got a
okay.
2 that wiped out. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
You got 2 6s and a total of 5 dice?
5 dice.
All right.
I got 1 3, and including that 2 out of a total of 2 dice. Joseph Joestar done bad.
And Neve?
I had 1 3 out of a total of 4 dice.
Okay. So, let's see that. Get my results here. All right. We're going to be calling everyone into, we're not going to do this in front of everybody. So, Joseph, you're here. Thank you. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you for everything you've done for Cheer. It's been wonderful having you here. However, you are a liability, so it has been recommended by my Cheer supervisors that your memory is going to be wiped. You're going to be transferred to a mall as Santa's helper. Listen, it's harsh, but we need a well-oiled machine here at Cheer. So it was nice knowing you, and with that, you are black bagged, taken out, memory wiped, and you are now Santa's little helper for a mall Santa.
Well, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened to my family.
Not that you would know anymore.
Bobby, issues solved. You're
feel like-
welcome.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Okay.
I
Look
feel
at
like
that
that's going to
price.
make a great start to the next season.
Yeah.
You're going to remember. It's going to be good.
Neve.
Yes.
Neve. Just get out of. I can't say. Get out of my office.
All right.
Just get out.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Do not take any wine or cookies with you.
No. Those cookies are so good.
Damien.
Yes.
You, sir. You. You are truly what this division needs. You have shown what it is to have the 7 habits of highly effective holiday ops protocols under your belts. You are exactly the type of agent that we look for here at Cheer in the fight against crunches. You are being given the sweet, sweet holiday bonus here. Take the fruitcake home with you.
Yes.
You really deserve this fruitcake.
Yes.
All right, and that leaves old Mac.
Right.
Old Mac. You little son of a bitch. I didn't think you had it in you. I didn't think you had it in you. You have skills above and beyond what is expected. You don't belong here at Cheer. Your skills are being put to waste here. In fact, you are too competent for these low-risk missions like these. Your clearance has been upgraded to Santa 7, and you are going to be thrown into this magical red bag, dragged off to a top-secret training facility deep in Santa's workshop, where 2 years of training will happen, where you will be physically, mentally, and spiritually broken down and rebuilt into an extremely lethal field agent, better known as a Green Ops Elf agent. Upon graduation, you'll be on the never-ending mission of preventing Krampus from destroying Christmas. Congratulations, agents. Mission accomplished.
Question. Is there room enough in the red bag for my cats?
That's a humbug dice. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to Everything is Awesome here. Thank you to Jeff Stormer for designing such a wonderful game. for not saying anything bad about me, saying, I'm going to hack this without really asking his permission. It was really fun to put this together and run it. So thank you, Jeff, for designing a beautiful game.
Thanks, Jeff.
I hope the added little holiday fun was...
It was great.
All right, good. Thank you to Heart Points, Zach and Diana, for being part of this episode here. You guys are wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. This was wonderful.
Of course, my best friend in the world, Mike DeAngelo, also co-host sometimes. Check him out. Everyone, give your plugs one last time.
You guys go first.
You can find us at HeartPointsPod and at Farriers Bellows on Twitter. You can find me personally at ZWGarth.
And you can find me at IC Diana.
You can find me at Party of One Pod on Twitter. You can find links to all of the podcasts I make, games I design, and all that stuff at jeffstormer.com. And that includes Party of One, All My Fantasy Children, and all that other stuff. And Mission Accomplished will be available, we're thinking summer, most likely. It'll be available on DriveThruRPG and all those other places that you buy role-playing games.
Very nice. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/tellusbooks. You can find me on Twitter at Tellust. And you can see all the books that I've written and the game that I made, Quantum Quest, at tellus.com.
Jordan, keep talking.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Can I just say how much fun this really experience has been and how much I feel like we've all grown as friends. And how happy I am that we have podcasting as a medium.
Yeah. Jeff, I do want to ask you before we officially cut out here, how was it as a player? This is the first time you've been a player of your own game.
It was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed. It was hard to resist, jumping back into game designer running mode, but it was fun to just fully get to get to be the kind of player that I wanted, that I always want when I run it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of pressure running it, even though it's just it's just overall probably the easiest game to run, I guess, because it's very light.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick. How did you feel like the game adequately prepared
you?
Let
me ask you a question.
Yeah, let me turn this around on you. Did you feel like the game adequately gave you ideas on how to run things? Because that has been sort of my biggest design goal, is to make sure that people who run it that aren't me have the tools they need to run it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And very specifically, I had your playtest files that we got through the Kickstarter, I believe, to kind of look at and just design my mission for the game. So I think you could not only just run it off the material that you have in the book. You can easily, I think, come up with your own missions just following the template. Yeah, it's just a template that you have to follow.
It didn't feel like a lot of it was kind of off the cuff. I know it was, but it felt like it was very natural.
Yeah. Good. That's what I'm going. That's what I hope the game achieves.
I think that the hardest part, and that's not something that I think most people are going to do, was coming up with the inspiration table and coming up with all that, because I don't know that people are going to do that at their home table.
Sure.
I did it so that because I knew Mike was here, and he's just like me, terrible at improv.
Oh yeah.
So I knew it was going to be useful for some people.
Sure.
We used a lot of the material.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's going to be great to I think it's one of the few games that I've played where I can say, and especially now that I've run it, oh, this is an easy game I can probably hop in and run. It's the only reason I volunteered to run it, because it's not D&D. It's not. Yeah. There's not a lot of prep really.
Right.
So. But thank you, sir, for
my pleasure.
And thank you guys, Zach and Diana, for playing. Thank you, Mike, for being here. I know you got to get out of here. Thank you to Saturday Night Strategists for sponsoring. Thank you to Tellus for sponsoring. And thank you for the venue. This is a great. Can I just say, I feel at home. I feel at home standing right here. This feels right.
So we are in an actual church right now, and it is definitely the weirdest and probably the coolest place that I've ever played a tabletop game.
Yeah, gonna agree.
Yeah.
Gonna agree.
And I feel like, Jeff, you might feel the same way, because you are obviously one that likes to talk, likes to do podcasts and whatnot. It just feels like I'm at you're home up here, right? There should be people sitting in pews listening to me.
Did you miss your calling for the priesthood, Kevin? Is that what you're saying?
I think I did. Well, very specifically the Episcopal priesthood, because everything I've learned from Ben is that they're the cool.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, since we're here, does this now become a tax-exempt podcast?
Oh, I'm going to work that in for sure. All right, guys, make sure you check me out on Twitter at ThatNerdyKev. You can find the podcast at Real Awesome Pod on Facebook and Twitter. If you're going to go to the Great Philadelphia Comic-Con in April, we will be doing 2 panels there. Saturday is our DC panel. It will be me, Mr. Jeff Stormer, and we're working on some other panelists to bring in. And on Sunday, we're going to be talking Marvel. It's going to be me, Mike, and again, we're working on 2 other panelists, but time's going to be determined those days. But come out to the Great Philadelphia Comic-Con and watch us talk nerdy about the DC universe on Saturday and the Marvel universe on Sunday. I feel like there's going to be a lot of negativity Saturday and a lot of positivity on
I have
Sunday.
a lot of things to say about Man of Steel.
Well, so I saw Shazam, and I think people are going to be happy with that.
I'm excited. I am excited to see Shazam.
That's very good to hear. I'm happy to hear that.
Here's a little spoiler to the panel. I think because there's so little movies in the DCEU, there's a clear divide of like, and then like, oh, they're trying to be a good universe now.
The last 3 movies that they've done have been good.
Yeah.
So.
There's a clear divide.
Yep.
I think. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We're going to wrap up here, clean up, and then up next is Ben and Mel from Pod of Love. Woo! Yo, you guys get humbug dice for not clapping, guys.
We still have some. Here you go.
No, I'm not throwing any more. I don't want to lose it. Thank you once again to Mike DeAngelo, Jeff Stormer, and Zach and Diana from the Heart Points podcast. What a fun event. Thanks everyone who came out all that time ago, long ago. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks for everyone who was part of this and waited so long to hear this come and to the light of day. And you know, your time was all worth it. And I just had a lot of fun with this. And it really... Jeff's game is so much fun. There'll be links in the show notes to where you can go pick up Mission Accomplished. There'll be links where you can find Jeff and you know his podcast Party of One. Zach and Diana do Heart Points. You'll see links to that in the show notes. And Mike is the creator and writer for All Things Tell Us, so you'll see links to that as well in the show notes. Please go, if you have not played this game, go pick it up from Jeff. It is such a good game. It is one of the funniest games I've ever played, and it's fun, it's funny, it's easy to pick up, it's easy to play. You can hear another example of it being played on Everything is Awesome if you go back to episode 100 when we did it live at Amalgam Comics and Coffee House. Whatever. Amalgam. We played it at Amalgam back for episode 100. And it was a lot of fun playing it for this episode here, episode 168, I believe. Now, again, it's been so long since we did this, so I don't know what I have pre-recorded already. So all I'm going to say at the end of this, besides following all those people at Party of One Pod on Twitter, at Heart Points Pod on Twitter, at Tellust on Twitter, and, of course, at That Nerdy Kev on Twitter for myself. Follow us all on Twitter. Buy Jeff's game. Listen to his podcast. Listen to Heart Points. Buy Tellus books. The call to action that we normally do, again, I don't know what I have pre-recorded, so I'm just going to kind of ignore that pre-recorded stuff for right now, because here we are at the end of September, rolling into October. In the next few weeks, things are going to be getting, just crazier and crazier with politics and whatnot. And there's so much going on in the world right now. And really, my call to action, the most important thing you can do right now is make sure you're registered to vote. Vote.org. Go there. Make sure you're registered to vote. If you're able to vote by mail, please make sure you're registered for that as well. The sooner the better, because realistically you need to give yourself about 2 weeks to mail that ballot in to make sure that it gets to your county, your board of elections. If for whatever reason you can't get it, you don't get that in time, and you don't have enough time to have it go through the regular mail, please call your board of elections and find out where you can drop it off in person. That way you can avoid crowds in these uncertain, dangerous times with COVID-19, the coronavirus still being out there, but you can still make sure your voice is heard with voting. if you want to call for, any kind of issues that are important to you, use 5calls.org to help you call your state representatives to make change happen. But change starts with voting. The makers behind 5 Calls also have an app called Voter Network. You can download that app, and it will help make sure that that you are all set up, that your friends in your contact list are all set up, and it will just help make sure everyone is really registered to vote. Please go out there, register to vote, and make sure you're good. Your friends and family are do it safely. That's all I got. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time with our next episode. We're here on awesomepodcast.com. Everything is Awesome is a production of That's Entertainment Podcast Network in association with Greenhumor Studios. Greenhumor Studios is a Philadelphia-based production company specializing in audio, video, and live performances. You can find more information at greenhumorstudios.com. Thanks for listening, Super Friends. We've been awesome. This episode of Everything is Awesome is brought to you by Tellus. Tellus is a fantasy world created by Michael DeAngelo. Spanning 15 novels and novellas, Tellus is a place of magic and splendor, where great heroes fight for the people. Some of these heroes are blessed with the strain, granting them uncanny abilities. The Tellus universe is medieval superhero fantasy with steampunk elements that mix with several different mythologies. With so much to choose from, the world is in your hands. Get more information, purchase the books, and discover the world of Tellus at tellus.com.
That's Entertainment Podcast Network. Entertainment and culture. Artist-owned, fan-supported.